All right, so today I'm going to talk loud enough because I have a class going on right now. That's not mine. I'm not in charge. I'm not being irresponsible or anything. But anyway, so check this out. Here's what's going to happen. You are today going to learn how to use a session player in Logic Pro in order to create a cover song and be able to identify chords efficiently. You're going to apply these simple rules that I have in order to make a cover song so you can start that process. Now, we're not looking for perfection, but we are looking for is a basic understanding of how to add chords to Logic Pro and how to use a session player in order to create a cover song. So if it's not perfect or exactly fitting the measures that the song, it doesn't matter. We're going to go and jump in. So here's what you're going to do first. Just go to Google and you're going to pick a song. And the song, let's make sure that the song that you have here, let's make sure that it absolutely 100% is something that's easy. So don't pick a rap song, have something with a melody. Rap songs are just the same 4 chords over and over again. And you can do it if you want to, but you just got to make sure that there are chords there. So I'm going to pick a song that I know that has all the things. So I'm going to just type in Katy Perry. Look, I don't even know how to spell it. Katy Perry, Firework, and I'm going to type in the word chords, and this is going to come up. So I could very easily go to here. Now, if you are wanting to do a song that is not widely known and you don't have this resource, pick something else. Don't cause a hard life. You can do that other project you want to do later on your own time after you've done this. This is very easy. So take a look. We have an intro. That's awesome. We have a verse. We have a pre-chorus, and we have a chorus. That is the gold mine, if you have all of those. Now, if you don't, and you have just a intro, then a verse, and then a chorus, that's totally not a problem. And if you have a verse and a chorus only, also not a problem. Don't worry about it. We can manufacture the intro. All right, so here it goes. Now that you have this, you have chords over here, and it tells you what chords that they play in the song. So we're going to create that in Logic Pro. Let's open up a Logic Pro thing, and then we're going to go ahead and get started here. As it's opening, I want you to know that we're not going to start with a session player. We're going to start with an audio. So I'm going to go to Empty Project. I'm going to choose, and I'm going to go ahead and go over to this. 1 second. Hey, guys, you're too loud. I can't hear myself, and I'm right in front of me. I'm keeping that in. Look, you see. Again, it's an after-school club that I'm not in charge of. So go into, but this is the only time I have to record this. Here I am. I'm going to go to audio, and I'm going to go ahead and create. You're going to delete this audio later. You just want it as a place marker. I don't want to start with a session player. And you'll see why later. Now, I'm going to click on this button, this G. If you push G and bring up the global tracks. I'm going to get rid of tempo. I do not need the key signature. You can keep it if you want to. But we are going to keep arrangement in chord at least. So I'm going to go and push plus here. Intro. I need a verse. This one has a pre-chorus. So I'm actually going to rename this pre-chorus. Now, you don't have to do this. It doesn't have it. Pre-chorus. That's how I'm going to write it, because that's how I like it. And then I'm going to push one more plus, and it's going to, instead of bridge, it's going to go to the chorus. And I like to say with the verse, I like to go with verse 1. So you don't have to do that, but I am. Rename verse 1. Because I want to be very clear where my verse 1 and 2 is when I'm going in there. Now, I have all that. I'm going to bring this end marker in just about right here, so I just have some wiggle room, but I can at least back out to this. Now, intro. Here's how you're going to, once you do that and set it up exactly how it is on this screen, you just have an intro, verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. Again, you might have just verse and chorus. That's fine. Intro, verse, or chorus. That's also fine. We're going to jump in here, now to here, and we're going to add the chords. So what chords do we see there? We see that in the intro is G, A minor, G, A minor, E minor, C. The little M means minor. So G, A, E, C. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to push plus, and you see it's 1 measure long. If this is not 1 measure long, and this ends up being this long, you got to literally just take it and send it back. Okay? So G, this is going to be 4 measures. It was 4 chords, is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, I'm going to bring this back here and say it was only 4 measures. So I have 4. 1, 2. I'm not going to label them now. It takes too long. I'm going to push 3, or I can right-click here, right-click in the area I want it, and put create chord. 4. That's what it is. And those chords are G, A minor, E, G, A, E, C. So this is G. I'm going to double-click and press G, or I can select G from here on the drop-down menu under the root note. It is major. G, A minor. I can type in AM. You don't have to capitalize it. It was E minor, so I'm EM. And then I'm going to press here the, what was it? C. There we go. I'm going to, after that, that's only 4 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on this, and I'm going to group the chords. Now I have that group. I'm going to take this now. Let's see what we have next. G, A minor, E minor, C. It has the same chord progression. Rather than looping it, I want to be very clear that it's a specific different location. So this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to push Command-C to copy, move this here, and Command-V, I can paste it. Or I can hold down Option and drag it over, and there it is. How many times this G, A minor, E minor, C happens? G, that's 1, G, A minor, E minor, C. 2, G, A minor, E minor, C. 3, G, A minor, E minor, C. 4, G, A minor, E minor, C. That's 4 times. So what I'm going to do here is go 1. Now this is stretching. You don't want that. You want to go ahead. I'm going to push Commands. I'm going to go ahead and loop it. Looping as a loop symbol, when you go to the bottom of the blob or the little section, it has a stretch. You don't want to stretch. You want a loop. 1, 2, and I can tell because the little notch up there, where it ends, 3, and 4. Now you see here, the verse does not stretch out to that. We want to stretch it out to 4. Now, we have our intro is only 4 measures, and our verse is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4, 16 measures. Then we have a pre-chorus. What is it? G, A minor, E minor, C. G, A minor, E minor, C. Now, your pre-chorus or your other thing might be different chords. This one is the same exact chords over and over again. I'm going to take this, push Option, and since it's the same, since it's the same Option, I'm going to click and just drag in the pre-chorus. How many times does the pre-chorus show? 1, 2. It has 2. So that means 2 iterations. 1, 2. We're going to stretch the pre-chorus out here to match. That's the pre-chorus. And now what we're going to do is go to the chorus. Now you're switching the arrangements and adjusting the arrangement as you are adjusting the chords. And notice that I have a clean break right here. Like where I can select this, I can select this, and I can select this. So now I'm going to go over to the chorus and see what they have. G, A minor, E minor, C. Oh, this is a very easy one. Now, sometimes I want to let you know that if you have a section where like it's different chords, I'm going to bring this over. It happens 1 on the chorus. It happens 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm going to stretch this chorus out. There it goes. That is all you have to do for the step. Now, if you are somewhere where like, oh, but it has an F sharp in there, you're going to like do the same thing what I did here, set up the template, make sure everything's aligned, and then you can put in chords later. Watch, I'm going to double click this A minor chord. Oh, I got to do it to the original. Because that's you can't change the loops A minor or anything. You have to go to the original where it starts, and that's at the beginning. A minor. I'm going to double click on this, and I could change this so have anything here. Like it was an A5 chord. There it is. Or if it was an A sharp minor, I could do that. And you see it changes? Or a B flat minor. I could do that as well. So you could do all these things to it. I'm going to push Command Z. Command Z. There it goes. And you could do that to that if you need to. If you are someone who likes to add chord by chord and do it that way, where I'm just, okay, right click, create chord, and then create the chord, and then go to the next part, make sure this is lined up, right click, change the chord. You could do if you want to, but I find that as tedious. I don't like to do that. I don't like to waste time. So there you have the entire thing. Now, here, once you're doing that with this step, we're on to the next section, and that's actually jumping into our session player. So this basically is about creating chords and finding what those chords are in order to create a cover song. And again, if these don't line up to exactly the way that the song is, don't worry about it. We're not worried about that. You could slow it down if you want to change the BPM to make it faster or slower to make it feel more like that. But before you do that, don't jump into all that. We're going to first find out the tempo. I'm going to go to Firework Katy. I don't have to spell her name right. Katy Perry tempo. 124 beats per minute. You can find it online. Okay? Is AI exactly correct? I'm not worried about that now. Just like we're going to go to 124. Now I'm going to go push, after that, I'm going to go push up here the plus sign to create new track. And I'm going to go to session player. I like to start out sometimes first with drummers just because that's my thing. Now, if you have this details button right here on the right, you're going to unhook it and you're going to go to what it is. This is definitely a pop song. You're going to choose what genre it is. So I'm going to go to pop song. And if you want to change the genre of it, like make it a rock song or make it something else, you ever heard of punk goes pop or pop goes punk? It's awesome. It's really cool to do that. So it's up to you how you want your thing to be. So I'm going to go ahead and create that track and watch every single chord that was existing under this was created right here. And now you have this. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Okay, I might actually want to change that. So now that I'm going to create the other instruments. I'm not going to worry about anything else, but I'm going to create the other instrument because I just want to jump in. But now let's delete that audio 1 file. Command delete. It's gone. I put it as a place marker because I didn't want you confused about session players first. I wanted you to just not even think about it. I wanted you to concentrate only on the chords. Because then you have to add it and then things change and it gets messy. I like to do this because it's very clean. Going into that, I'm going to add another session player. This time I'm going to go to bass. Now, retro rock is not what it is. I'm going to go to pump bass, sequence 808 bass, pop rock. I'll just do that. I'm going to push create. Now it's going to create the bass line in the exact chords. Drifting through the wind, wanting to start again. Do you ever feel? Okay, you get the point. So you obviously hear that, and it creates the intro. It's different, right? It's a cover song that you're creating. Now the next thing you're going to do is add, of course, our lovely keyboard player. Now, you're going to go to what you think would be better. Simple pads, modulated pads, rhythmic chords, block chords, arpeggiated. Whatever you feel like is good. You could play back and forth with this to feel what it's going to be. So you're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do broken chords, right? And go to create. And now I'm going to go here and then play. Now when I get here, that's actually one start again. Do you ever? Over here. Yeah. Baby, you're a come on, let your come. You see, it's a cover. Now, here's what you have to do. After you do that successfully, everything's created for itself. You are still not done. You have to do one more thing. You can't just add this and be okay with it. And if you are, that's great. But I still want to teach you that you could do even more to make it sound like a song. I'm going to go ahead and first go to my drums. I'm going to slow it off. And I'm going to press E. They're playing a game over there. All right, so E. Now, I could change on verse 1 the complexity. I can make it more complex, and I'll watch what happens to it. It changes. So this sound, or I can make it less complex. And I could change all kinds of things here. I could change the drum set. I could regenerate stuff. I could change the pads. I could do the type, acoustic, electric drummer. You know what? I'm going to go to electric drummer on this one. Regenerate. And then it'll regenerate the stuff you have here. All right? So you have to change one thing in the drum. After you change that one thing in the drum, you're going to, you can change all the things in it, but you have to at least change one and then write about it. In your comments, when you turn this in, you have to say, I changed this in the drum. I changed the complexity to be more. I changed the complexity to be less. I changed the intensity to be more. I changed it to be less. Even though you changed 5 things, you have to tell me one thing. Look, I could change the drums here. I changed the type of drums that we use in here. I don't like that. I like this. Okay? You could do that. Like in the intro, like say you want to just, like, no, I just want this kind of feel in the intro, you know? So you got to be just clear. I changed in the verse. The format is the framework. I changed in the verse the complexity, and I'm increased the complexity. That's it. You don't have to explain why. You just have to tell me you did it. Now, we're going to go to the bass line. let's now solo this off and change something in the bass line. I'm going to go to the pre-chorus on the bass line. Let me change something in the pre-chorus. So I'm going to select only the pre-chorus. Okay. I'm going to make it less complex so I can build complexity later. I like the rather you can change the pattern it does. Let's do this one. Melody, I could choose root note only or more notes. Let's do only root notes. Let's do that. I love that. It builds like, it has like this floating feel that I usually like. So I'm going to stop it. I'm going to say under my sentence, I change the bass complexity to be less, or I change the chord rhythm. You can tell me both if you want, but you only need to tell me one. In the bass, on the pre-chorus, I change this. Now, after that, I'm going to have to go, folks, close both doors right now, and then stop. Everybody sit at your own seat. And I'm keeping this in the recording. I'm not changing because that's a lot of work for me. Sit down in your own seat. Close both doors now. Thank you. That one too there, please. And thank you. All right, so going into that, now we got to figure this out. Going into vintage upright. I love this after school group. Don't get me wrong. I just have to. All right, so now it's going into here. Piano. Now, I'm going to say that here's the thing you have to do about piano. On the library, you're going to have to change. You could change what you're using as the notes because there's still MIDI information in this, right? This was not AI doing this. This was an algorithm that's there. This is not AI stuff. The session player is not AI. So you got to change one thing about the piano. You're more than welcome to find, like, you know what, at the chorus, I'm going to go click the chorus, and I want the chorus to be something different. So let's go ahead, click chorus only, and I'm going to change this to be, on this, I'm going to go arpeggiated in the chorus. And it's going to sound like this. I want it very complex. And I can change the voicing. I can say, like, I want full chord voice. Okay? So you can do that, and you can regenerate it a bunch of times. But, so you got to change one thing, and I say, I'm going to choose, I change the chorus, and I'm going to say the voicing on the right hand, right here, right? Or I took the right hand out, or I added the right hand, or whatever you want to put. Now, that's one thing, and you also got to change one more thing in the piano. You got to choose a different piano, not just a regular. This is Studio Grand. If you want, but I want a piano, then you go to Silver Age or something, right? So I'm going to go to Songwriter piano, and I'm going to say the instrument I changed by going to library in the right, or I go to Silver Age. I can go to Easy. I can go like, oh, you know what? I want mallets here. I want to do a music box here. Like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, right? Whatever it is. And you got to say, so. Anyway, that's what you have to do. You're going to then, after that, I'm going to stop this. Then what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you then zoom out, and then unclick all these things, and then take this picture by unsoloing it. You're going to listen to everything. Make sure you approve it. I just made this a kid's song, right? And then after that, you're going to do one more thing. I'm going to press this, and under this, I'm under the stereo, and that's this area right here. I'm going to push mastering. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't save. I accidentally pushed pause in there. Push spacebar. Delete. No, plug it in yourself. Actually, plug it in that wall, please, and thank you. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go click on mastering, and you're going to master it. And after that, mastering assist analysis, it's going to automatically master this. Now, I understand, like, but that's just a simple, yeah, this is beginner stuff. But look, it masters it, and it makes it sound better. Watch, listen to it now. It levels all the levels the way it's supposed to be. So now you did that, you're going to take a screenshot with the inspector on, showing that you mastered it, showing all of this stuff. Make sure I can see all of it. You're going to push Command-Shift-3. And that'll be your screenshot. I will see all the chords there. And then you're going to bounce it down. And then you're going to, of course, push OK. Oh, I forgot to save this, but this is going to be Firework Cover. And you're going to name it that. And I would name it 310 because that's what assignment is, 310. You're going to bounce it down. And then you have it made. So I'm also going to name this when it comes up as 310 Firework Cover, so I know what it is. And then you're ready to turn it in. You got this, folks. You're awesome. And yeah, have fun.